Chaos.radio. Music, podcasts, entertainment.
Hello and welcome to the latest edition of NEWSWAVE, written, produced and recorded in the heart of Cornwall by the team here at Chaos Radio. I'm your host, Tom Howe, and I'll be guiding you through some of the insightful guests and exciting news content that we've enjoyed across Chaos Radio this past week. On today's show, we take a trip to the Lost Gardens of Heligan to greet a striking new sculpture of a leaping fox named Lowarnes, crafted from storm-felled rhododendron. We check in with Heidi Marice and Nigel, co-founders of the main gallery over in Truro, a bold new space that's shaking up the local art scene. As well as that, we hear from Sarah Hart, who joins Janice Rose ahead of this month's Cornwall Banger Rally challenge, Vienna or Bust. And if all that wasn't enough, we hear from staff at Trelander Community Centre, as well as their local councillor and residents, to get their reaction to a large-scale emergency response that followed a blaze that sadly left the building with significant damage.
NEWSWAVE.
Now, a dramatic new sculpture of a leaping fox has been unveiled at the Lost Gardens of Heligan. Named Lowarnes, which is Cornish for vixen, the 6-metre-tall artwork was crafted from the vivid russet wood of a 150-year-old rhododendron felled during Storm Dara. Created by renowned Cornish artists Sue and Pete Hill alongside Hal Sylvester, the sculpture joins Heligan's beloved Mud Maid and Giant's Head as part of a growing trail of nature-inspired installations.
NEWSWAVE.
First of all, could I ask you to introduce yourself and tell me a little bit about your role here at Heligan, please?
Yeah, hi, I'm Laura Chesterfield. I'm the Managing Director at the Lost Gardens of Heligan.
And Laura, tell us about one of your newest additions here to the beautiful Heligan site just behind us here.
Yeah, so this is Lowarnes. She is our newest sculpture that's been created by the incredible artists Sue and Pete Hill and Hal, who are just here behind us in front of Lowarnes. And Lowarnes is 6 metres, just over 6 metres tall and 7 metres long. And she represents a pouncing fox vixen and really represents Heligan's kind of feeling about nature and wildlife and everything that lives outside at Heligan.
I mean, the photos are going to speak for themselves, but you must come and see it in person to get an appreciation of how majestic she actually is. But for people that know Heligan, can you just tell us where she is, where she can be found?
No, you have to come. You have to come and find her. She's down here in the Georgian Ride, so we wanted to put the sculpture somewhere authentically to where you would find the foxes that do dwell here, and they're hidden around the estate in different places. But yeah, she's down here in the habitat on the Georgian Ride and forms the 4th sculpture in a trail that Sue and Pete have delivered for us at Heligan over the last 30 years. So people will be really familiar with the Giant's Head and the Mud Maid and the Grey Lady, and so the trail sort of goes past those 3 sculptures that I think are quite iconic, and that, you know, the image especially of the Mud Maid, you really resonate that with being a Heligan image, and the trail then follows on down here into the estate to find Lowarnes, who is the first wildlife sculpture that we've had created, and we're blown away, actually. You know, could not have thought what would be created from the brief that we gave. The scale and how beautiful she is just astonishing, and we can't wait for people to see her.
And the weather as well, almost like we've had a bit of wet weather here in Cornwall recently. You can't get away from it, but the rain kind of glistening off it as well just looks incredible, and the sunshine through the trees. It really is a perfect spot. How long does this sort of thing take? Have you been sort of coming down and having a couple of sneak previews and checking on the progress?
Oh well, many. So I mean the time when I first asked Sue to create a new sculpture for us was May 2024, so a little while ago, and so a lot of the building was done off-site at Sue's house, actually, in her garden, so her neighbours did not know what was going on in the garden, because the steel frame was created first, and then, as you can see, the beautiful rhododendron cladding, which comes from one of our hugely ancient rhododendron trees here at Heligan, which fell in Storm Dara, and so the fact we've been able to recycle that wood and turn it back into something beautiful, it makes it even more special. So it was sort of created at Sue's house, then taken apart and then transported here, where all the groundworks were done, and gradually every piece has been lovingly put back into place from where they'd planned it at Sue's house. So it's taken weeks and weeks and weeks, and the Heligan team have been hugely involved, which has made it, just a real lovely team effort, that they've really taken care of the wood and oiling the wood and helping to carve the wood, and really helped to actually put some of the wood into place and build all of the landscaping around it. So it's a real team effort, but the colour of her is the rhododendron wood, which actually looks better in the rain.
Yes.
The red gets even deeper. So in all weathers, Lowarnes is going to look spectacular.
Absolutely does. First of all, her garden must be absolutely ginormous to build something like this in. Secondly, it reminds me of another exhibition you have here at the moment, Andy's excellent photographs, and the fox jumping through, which we were delighted to join Andy for a little walk through the exhibition. It reminds me so much of that, and it just feels very Heligan, doesn't it?
Oh, that's, for you to say that is just perfect, because that's exactly what we want. It really represents our commitment to highlighting everything about the natural world and all the residents that dwell here at Heligan. And Andy, as you know, is our head of restoration here and maintenance manager by day, but by night we call him Snow White, because he's friends with all the animals, and they all come to him at night, because he goes out and photographs absolutely everything that lives at Heligan, and has delivered the most astonishing beautiful photographs, because he spends hours sitting and waiting to really capture them in their natural habitat. And he's done a whole series of capturing the foxes and the fox cubs that live at Heligan, and one particular image that I think you're referring to, which is still in the display, is of a pouncing fox, and that image was one of the inspirations for Sue and Pete, in terms of when we looked at what stance we wanted Lowarnes to have. It was really that one, of that sort of intent, that hunting, that survival in the habitat, really captured how incredible a fox is and how mobile they are, and it's great.
It's got so much personality as well. Every time you look at it. Now, I love coming to Heligan when the seasons change. We're just moving into autumn. Winter will be here soon. You've got an exciting calendar of events and things going on. What's in store for people this time of year?
Well, I mean, mixture of weathers, as you can see. Heligan's beautiful in every season, and there's something different in every season. So, we're moving out of summer, and there's still a lot of colour in the gardens. The dahlia beds are still dazzling, looking absolutely gorgeous. And as we move into more autumnal things, obviously it's an important time of year for us in the horticultural team. The productive gardens get to that point in the year where we're harvesting a lot of what we've grown throughout the year, and really celebrating that with our harvest programme at the end of October, which leads into half term, where we've got few little nods to Halloween for our visitors, with some visiting owls and lots of drawing. We've got barn dances, apple pressing, the trail of the witches, and there's all sorts of fun things for families to come and get involved in and get outside, no matter what the weather is, but to also just really kind of celebrate that time of the season, which is, it's beautiful. I mean, the colour of autumn is great, right?
NEWSWAVE.
So my name is Sue Hill, and I'm one of the artists who've made Lowarnes.
Sue, Lowarnes is here and looks absolutely magnificent. Let's talk about this, where we're all seeing it now. There's a bit of a crowd here, just all basking in the magnificence of it. How does it feel to see it up here now? See her up here in all her glory.
Well, it's actually really emotional. It's been a long journey. We got the first message from Laura, who's in charge of Heligan. She came and she sent us an email saying, "I've got these poems that Simon Armitage, the poet laureate, has written about the wildlife at Heligan. Would you consider making one of the animals?" That was very exciting to have that. But that was like over a year ago now. So we've been on quite a journey to get to the point where she lives. I mean, she does a lot. She's alive, isn't she?
Oh, she's got so much personality as well. So talk to me about how this kind of thing comes together, because this is your 4th piece at Heligan now, is that correct?
Yeah, so she's been on she's a very different story to the other 3 pieces. She's of such a scale. She's 6 metres high, and she's made of the most beautiful timber that has come from Heligan. So that again has been really a real treat for us. We came up with the idea of this leaping fox, inspired by one of the members of staff here, Andy Wilson, who's a passionate wildlife photographer, and he's taken pictures of the Heligan foxes doing this leaping, amazing leaping, pouncing thing that they do. So that was the first gift, and then the estate staff here told us that they'd had several trees actually fall down in Storm Darrow last year, one of which was a giant rhododendron tree. I always think of rhododendrons as being little shrubby things. This was a mighty tree, 150-year-old tree, and the wood of this tree is ginger, proper orangey ginger, and we just thought, oh, this is the most amazing gift. So that was the decision to make her out of this wood. And we've been working with the Heligan team to make her. There's 3 artists been working on this. 2 other artists have been helping us build her, Joel Tyler and Alfie Gidley. But also the Heligan team have been absolute diamonds. So they split all this wood and they oiled it all. And so it's been a proper team effort.
Well, it looks absolutely magnificent. I hope you're all quite rightly proud to see it here, and to be able to repurpose from a really devastating story to now see Lowarnes made of all of this wonderful rhododendron bark from the tree. It is absolutely wonderful. What's the process? How long does this kind of thing take? Obviously, we understand the brief was delivered to you in May of last year, and today in September we're seeing it the following year. But sort of, is this kind of a full-time thing? Are you getting in a little bit every week?
No, it sort of takes time to brew, and we've all got other things that we do as well. So it's taken over a year, but that's not flat out kind of working on her. And also with this kind of, when you're doing a creative process, you have your ideas in the bath, or on the country walk, or in the middle of the night. You don't sit down and just do it. But to make something of this scale, obviously there's some serious bits of design work happen. So there's the steel work inside her is a serious piece of engineering, and that was mainly done by Howe, one of the other artists. The steel was fabricated by local companies, so we've had help from local companies to make her. And then of course there's the whole process of making the wood fit, and that is such an extraordinary process, because it's not like just building a piece of furniture. We've got this beautiful curving pieces of wood, and it's like making a jigsaw that you haven't necessarily got the pattern for. You have to work out where each curvy bit goes, and you pick a piece up and you put it down, you pick another piece up and you try it and it doesn't go there and you put it down, and this is kind of spiral process of trying to make this thing turn into a living creature.
As we can see here, and this is your 4th piece here. You've got this incredible legacy now of this walk through right up to here. Tell us about the other 3 pieces you've got.
Well, the first piece we made was the Giant's Head, and it was an invitation from Tim Smith. My brother and I we'd been working for Knee-High Theatre, local theatre company, and Tim was very, very keen on Knee-High's work, and my brother and I were making large-scale carnival images out of paper and willow and bamboo.
Why not?
And Tim had started unravelling the kind of the brambles and the nettles at Heligan. And one rather drunken Christmas party, he said, "Why don't you come and make something at Heligan, Sue?" And I said, "Oh my goodness, Tim, the things we make are only meant to last 20 minutes. They're paper. Mostly we set fire to them at the end." He said, "Oh, you'll think of something." So Pete and I came and we played for a summer. We made mud pies and we used what was here. We used where the Giant's Head is now. That was the roots of a sycamore tree that had fallen over. I think it was a sycamore tree. Anyway, a big root plate which we used as the structure, and they were excavating the foundations for the tea rooms at the time. So we used a lot of sticky mud. So we were making mud pies basically. And then the second piece which we made that summer was the Mud Maid, and our idea for her was that she was originally going to be a mermaid, actually, Tom. Yeah, she was. We previously made a paper and bamboo and willow mermaid for Mothergissi for their feast week. We thought maybe the mermaids come up into the gardens at Heligan to have a little nap. And so she was originally going to have a tail, but we never got around to that. And then Candy Smith was walking up through the garden one day, and she said, "That's not a mermaid, that's a mud maid." So
amazing.
That was it. So that was how the mud maid was named. And the third piece was a commission because there's a ghost here. There's a ghost that walks from Heligan House down the Georgian Ride. And so it was suggested that we might make this ghost, and we thought we can't make a mud ghost, that doesn't work. So we made this very slender, silvery, very glorified sort of honeysuckle trellis, really, a woman with her arms outstretched. And sometimes she disappears. People walk past her and they don't see her. She really is a ghost. But yes, she was our third piece. And number 4 is Lowarnes.
Well, it's just wonderful. And we're here today taking photos of her, but you actually have to come and see her, don't you? Because from different angles, it looks like she's looking at you and smiling at you, and the way she's pouncing as well, and those giant legs, and the just all of it. We could go on and on. It is just wonderful. And we talked about how it feels to see it here now. What about the wider team as well? And what's it like working with your brother as well? I can't imagine working on projects like this with my brother.
He's great. We've got a really great working relationship. His background is very different to mine. I trained in theatre. He's a scientist. His first degree was oceanography. He's now an ice scientist. You'll talk to him in a minute. So he spent time in Antarctica and in Svalbard. So we come from very different, literally different points of the compass, but we love working together, and we've got overlapping and complementary skills. So it's really good.
What's next? What's in your peripherals now? What are you working on? What can we get excited about? What can you share with us?
I can't possibly tell you. It's all secret.
I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't ask you.
No, you'll be one of the first to know. But at the moment, we're all going to have a good lie down, I think.
NEWSWAVE.
Time now to hear from Heidi, Marice and Nigel Storer, co-founders of the Main Gallery, a bold new space that's shaking up the art scene. Their mission? Well, to make art accessible, vibrant and welcoming to everyone, whether you're a seasoned collector or you're just curious.
NEWSWAVE.
I'm Heidi Marice. I'm an artist and co-founder of the Main Gallery with
me, Nigel Storer, co-founder of the Main Gallery. And we've been open 2 weeks, just over 2 weeks now. 3, I think, isn't it? So welcome here.
We've got quite an array of artists involved, lots of different styles, lots of different inspirations. They take their inspirations from either the sea. We've got an artist who takes their inspiration from creative mind. She's got ADHD, so, she kind of takes her inspiration from her mind. Lots of different things. What we're trying to do is introduce a space that has a few bits of home decor too, so that you can visualise an art piece in your home alongside some soft furnishings. Also, we're trying to bring something a little bit punchier to Cornwall, something that's maybe not seascapes or...
Yeah, something a bit different, we like to bring to the table. There's a lot of crossovers. Some people might say we're probably, half interiors, half gallery, but we are gallery-led, gallery-focused. But at the same time, we like to mix up a little bit, with obviously lampshades, interiors and candles and stuff like that. It just gives us another scope, because art itself crosses all forms. And I think that's important, for people to understand that it's just not a picture, a painted picture. So we like to bring all that together and have an infusion of colour. There are a lot of galleries we know of, you go in and they're just white walls, as you can see here today, are quite colourful. So we'd like to bring a lot of colour into people's lives at the same time, and it's a talking point,
I've been an artist for most of my life. I've also been in the antiques game and the pub game. So colourful background. But yeah, I've always drawn, painted, that kind of thing. My preference now is digital art, purely on the basis that it's quick. I get quick results, and that's good for me. I started off with oils, and they take so long to dry, so that didn't work for me. Then acrylics, and then I went down the whole kind of span of everything, and then I'm happy creating now digitally. So yeah, I was doing that even when my children were small, you know, but now doing it as a living as opposed to a hobby.
Yeah, my background is quite varied. I've been involved with the arts in all shapes and forms, media, in London, curating as well. Been involved in printing and publishing, and also music. I managed a band for 15 years. We were quite successful-ish. We did manage to have a couple of top 40 hits back in 2010, I think it was, 2012. This gallery came on board, and it was a great opportunity because we use All About Frames, which we are here today, above All About Frames. And Lisa downstairs did all our framing for our artwork. And then we had the opportunity to come up here and set the gallery up. So yeah, I mean, even from art students we've got here as well, you know, we give them an opportunity to exhibit here, just to get them out into the mainstream, to feel how a gallery operates, and just to help them on their way, on their journey, you know.
Give them a little bit of confidence
and,
as
yeah,
well,
and exposure as well.
Other
you know,
galleries if
and they're great, you know, in the work they do. We're always looking to encourage that, you know, and bring that to the table, because, you know, we are fundamentally behind people that want to achieve and get out there, and we'll do our best to help that, you know. It's all people from different walks of life and their art, isn't it, you know. We tend to, like, you know, introduce different styles, you know, something which is, you know, obviously Wendy's stuff here with the bait ball with the fish, and those pieces there are made out of tins of dog food, you know. She's textile artist, brilliant. And to the pop art stuff we've got. So it's a whole varied thing, you know. And
but it's like Nigel said earlier, you know, art comes in many, many forms. And we've got Tessa, she paints on G-plan furniture. I mean, just to have a piece like that in your home, it would uplift you. It's so quirky, it's so incredibly fantastic, and her talent is just outrageous.
Yeah.
The lampshades that come in to kind of complement it, it's just all so fun, exciting, interesting, exhilarating, and the talent behind the artist is just incredible. And we don't just have textile artists, a mosaic artist, somebody who works with copper, you know, we don't just have a painter, we don't just have a resin artist, we have the lot, and we're all under one roof.
Wow, you know, that's the kind of first impressions. I think people, as I said to you before, they go into a gallery and they kind of half expect what they see, but when they come here, it's an explosion of colour and we just create a nice vibe, you know. But it has genuinely been really supportive from people, you know. Yeah, it's been quite overwhelming, really. So
yeah, it's been warmly received, certainly by the locals, which is nice, you know.
Especially for Truro as well, you know.
Yeah, it's great for Truro.
Add something to Truro, really, a bit different as well. But yeah, it's exciting times. So
creative people in general are so lovely, and they're so open-minded, you know, and to be in amongst people like that all the time is just refreshing. I think it's really interesting to not allow's the wrong word, but to support immersion artists is really, really important, because like anything, you can get crushed with a negative kind of review. Where somebody, when you put yourself out there, someone goes, I don't get it, or I don't like it, or I don't, you need to support those people and say, not everyone's like that, you know, let's put you here and let's see what reaction we get. And the reactions have been outstanding.
Yeah. We've got some ideas what we want to do. I think they're very interesting. I don't think some of them they've been done before, but they're pushing the boundaries a little bit. So yeah, watch this space.
The thing is, at the end of the day, the main gallery wouldn't be the main gallery without different people, you know, and it's those
That's
people
what makes it.
that make it, yeah. And it's just identifying the talent, I think.
You know,
The nice thing about the main gallery is that we keep it fresh. So in October, this will all change, be completely different. Might be some of the same artists, might be new artists, but it will keep being fresh and keep being refreshed. And you have to have the vision in order to curate it. So the vision was basically what you're seeing now, but will be curated in a different style again down the line. So it will keep reinventing itself.
you can find us literally down Tabernacle Street, on the first floor, Glass Dining House, which we are directly above All About Frames. We got some signage coming. We haven't got it yet at the moment, but it's on its way. And yeah, a couple of doors down from Hook Restaurant, which is amazing.
Opposite from the car park.
The car park, yeah.
What more could you ask for?
Literally just off Lemon Key. So yeah, please, we'd love to see you all.
NEWSWAVE.
Right, I'm Tom Howe and you're listening to NEWSWAVE here on Chaos Radio. Janice Rose was joined this week by Sarah Hart. Now, Sarah is one of the organisers behind the Cornwall Banger Rally Challenge, which is about to hit the road with a group of drivers taking on the ultimate adventure, travelling all the way to Vienna in cars worth just a few £100.
NEWSWAVE.
It's bonkers.
Yes.
So the Cornwall Banger Rally Challenge was created by Roundtable 12 years ago, by a group of lads that wanted to do something to raise money for charity, but in a really fun way. So they all went off to Monte Carlo. And so the Banger Rally, absolutely. So the Banger Rally was created. We have since, as a group, gone to Pompeii, Gibraltar, Barcelona, Porto, Split, Saint-Tropez. I mean, there's 11 of them. We've been to 11 different places around Europe, and this year we are off to Vienna,
which is going to be the city of culture and amazing architecture. But being a rally, you don't just go from A to B, do you? There's a little bit of a detours en route, shall we say?
Oh, absolutely. The fun part about our rally is that they know they start in Charlestown and they know they finish in Vienna. What happens in the middle is really game on. So we will give our ralliers a sheet in the morning of the rally, and they have to complete some challenges to get to the ferry. And then they hand their challenges over. There'll be carpool karaokes, there'll be reenactments, there'll be pictures, there'll be all sorts of things, photos opportunities, team photos, limericks to write. There'll be all sorts of things going on, and then they hand them over to their team leader to mark, and they'll be given where they're going the next day.
Ooh, and I loved it when you gave all the information out last year on the start line. The stormtroopers were there. Right, we've got to do this. We've got to do that. They were on it, I tell you. They were just so competitive to get there.
Well, they won the rally.
Oh, well, it wouldn't surprise me.
They won the
definitely
rally.
Had a competitive streak. They were like, okay, we've got to do this, got to do this. I said, well, can I just have a photograph? Oh, yeah, okay.
Well, this year, it is definitely free for all for winning the rally, because the stormtroopers are going to be some team leaders this year.
Ooh.
I know. They're going to be team leaders. So if you're in the stormtroopers group, you're going to have a laugh. I can guarantee that.
But they are very competitive, so I imagine they expect their charges to do the same.
Absolutely. Well, we've got 4 team leader groups. So we've got Team Academy, that's me and Sergeant Sausage. We've got Team Bond, that will be Miss Muddy Fanny and Commando Bond. And then we've got Squid Games, which will be Guy and his team, Lee, who's coming along with Guy. And then we've also got Team Empire, which are the stormtroopers.
Ooh, that sounds really good. So how many cars have you got taken part this year?
We've got 37 cars.
Oh my
word.
Over
70 people. We're going to be doing a carnival all the way across Europe.
And Carnival it is. If I remember rightly from your social media last week, it started as you meant to go on with an epic sort of concert at Charlestown, and also when you were on the ferry, it must have been about midnight, you had YMCA blazing and everybody was up doing all the dance.
Oh, absolutely. That's how we like to roll. We don't tend to go to bed early. There's a party night every single night that we've arranged at the campsites and various accommodations that we've got sorted this year along the route. It's going to be a very alpine route.
A very alpine route.
So there's going to be some of Europe's most amazing driving roads.
Oh, that's gorgeous. So tell us a little bit about the cars. What makes a car banger worthy? And do you have any personal favourites that are entering this year? Obviously, yours is a stunning cop car, but tell us about the rest.
So you have to be under £1,000 or 15 years old. And to qualify, you can come in any car, but you won't be able to qualify for some of the routes along the way because your car will be newer if you come in a newer one. Cars that have previously come, well, last year, do you remember the lifeboat?
Yes.
The lifeboat was great. The year before we had Postman Pat. This year, I'm not sure.
Ooh,
I'm not sure.
I like that.
So we've got some team names coming in, but I think you need to come down to Charlestown to see what surprises we've got in store.
No,
really.
It sounds totally amazing, and it was so fantastic there because everybody is just up for everything. There's so much fun going on, and of course, being the older cars, there's a certain amount of jeopardy there, isn't there?
Absolutely.
Will they make it?
Sometimes they don't. I don't know whether there's always cars that break down and they end up finishing them in hire cars. A prime example of this one was Dick Darsley and Penelope Pitstop in Saint-Tropez Bust. They bust. On day 3 and finished the rally in a hire car. But I think Tippy all make it last year. No, I think there was a couple that broke last year as well. There's always some that break, but we have a lot of mechanics on the rally and we all try and help out. We had an issue with Tom Marshall, 118.
Yeah, 118.
One of the original organisers. His car broke when we got to Italy last year, and I don't know if you remember Colin.
Yeah.
Him and some of the others all helped to fix his car at the campsite, and so he could continue the rally. So everybody mucks in and we all help each other. A big sort of rally family, really.
It must be quite hilarious on the side of the road when you see all these cartoon characters. I mean, you must get some strange looks, shall we say?
Yeah, there's always that everywhere we go. So you wander into a supermarket to grab a sandwich and you're wandering in with Queen Elizabeth I and Blackadder. You forget you're in fancy dress.
I so love the social media post last year when you had Queenie going down the zip wire. Honestly, I was crying for weeks just watching that. That was just, she had full tiara on and full dress, rough and everything, going down the zip wire. Goodness knows how many miles per hour.
Well, I wonder what they're going to do with some of the things we've got planned this time around.
Ooh, any chance you can give us a little hint of what's happening, or not without giving too much away, because I know it's super secret.
It is super secret, but there is one big announcement that we did make to our ralliers last night that I can divulge, and that is that we have managed to get the Cornwall Banger Rally, Vienna or Bust, on the Red Bull Formula 1 racetrack.
Oh my goodness, there is going to be a lot of tyre squealing there and a lot of racing happening. I can see that.
Absolutely. Well, there was talk of Sergeant Sausage being the pace car, so we'll see.
You won't catch up with him. He'll be gone. Definitely gone. Full siren blazing. Oh my word, how do you manage to swing that?
Well, that's Melanie, one of our organisers. She's a very brilliant sweet talker.
Oh, I just love it. So as well as going around epic racetracks, I know you've been around racetracks before and you seem to just have a marvellous time. You say you got carpool karaoke, there's parties in the evening. You always make people do some daft things like having photographs with some random person or random thing. So is all that still happening?
Oh, goodness me, and more. We've got some fabulous things planned. We really have. We're just going to make everybody giggle the whole way around Europe, as we always do. Yeah.
So this year, Vienna is a big destination. What makes this route so special? You've hinted on the alpine nature of it, but you go into research and in such great detail. What are you excited about?
I'm very excited about the mountains. We all love the mountain passes. Everywhere we've gone, whether we've gone over the Pyrenees, gone over the Alps, the Dolomites, we all have fun on the mountain passes, and doing this route, yes, we don't have beaches. Some of our rallies we always try and fit a beach in. Doing this route, we're not going to be able to fit that in, but it doesn't matter because these roads that we're going on are the best in Europe.
No, they all look completely stunning, and you're just going to have such fun. So from the people that you've got coming, how many people are newbies and how many people are sort of rally stalwarts, should we say?
I would say it's probably about 50-50.
Ooh, that's good.
It's going to be quite exciting. We have got some newbies coming. We've got some people that have come on the Cornwall, our one-day rally, that have decided, actually, let's try the big one. So that's going to be quite exciting because Cornwall's one day, as you know, you were there.
We were there, yes, in all our glory, wearing a wedding dress, and Harley was dressed up as a prisoner. We just loved it.
It's very fast-paced Cornwall. Obviously, it's shorter distances on Cornwall. The Vienna bus, our days are a bit longer, but we put in some lovely stops. We listened to the feedback from last year, and a lot of the ralliers were like, can we have more time at lunchtime so we can all be together and do some random stuff? So we've managed to pop those things in for them. Yep.
So the grand depart is happening from Charlestown Harbour, and you're going to the ferry terminal, I would imagine. Do you have things for them to do en route, or is that quite a direct one?
No.
Oh, no, I can see Sarah smiling. No. Janice, don't be stupid.
Don't be silly. Of course we're not going straight to the ferry. No. Yes, we've obviously got challenges for them to do. We can divulge that the route will go through Holmbush, and it will head towards St Blaise and Lostwithiel. So those that usually come out to watch the rally, we will be there. We're leaving Charlestown at 1 p.m. So stand by the road and we will be coming past. Then I can't really tell you where we're going, but we've got some fun stuff planned. A little bit of sort of team competition, shall we say, between the team leaders and their groups.
Oh, that sounds really good. So if people want to come along, what time does the fun start at Charlestown Harbour? Because I know you're there super early. And where can they see the cars?
So the registration for the cars starts at 9 o'clock. So we recommend the public come down from about 11 or just before. Most of the cars should be, or all of the cars should be there by then. As you all know, the harbour's closed. The harbour wall, where we usually back up all the cars, is closed because of the works being done. But don't worry about that, because we've got places to put our cars, and they will be available for everybody to go and see. We've also got the band, Janice.
Yay! The band was so great last year.
Well, we've got an even bigger surprise. They're coming on the rally.
That is going to be truly epic. I can just see you oh, crikey, it's just going to erupt, isn't it? I think you're going to be on the national news or international news.
All over.
Yeah, you are going to be all over the media.
With the band are playing between 11 and 11:45 because then they've got to decamp and get in their cars. We have got a challenge. I can't really tell you what it is, but there is another challenge that is going to be happening between 12 and 12:30 if the public want to come and watch that.
Ooh, and where will that be located?
That will be at the harbour side.
Right, okay, so you need to pop down and see what's happening there. If it's anything to do with any of your challenges, it's going to be quite amazing.
It'll be good fun.
And will there be sort of any backhanders being given in order to sort of get the first prize? Are you open for that? A bit of bribery?
Absolutely
as per
not.
Usual?
I don't know. Sergeant Sausage has got a special award this year, so who knows?
Oh, what's a special award?
He's got a sausage award.
He's got a sausage award. Yes, we are talking about Sergeant Sausage, who is amazing, and it's so good. I like his sort of sausage report as well, when he tells people, what to expect on the rally. Obviously very tongue-in-cheek, shall we say.
Oh, absolutely. And he does a sausage report every evening. So any strange things that have happened to our ralliers along the route, anybody being arrested, stopped by the police, gone up the wrong road, being shot at by a farmer, anything random, he will let us know after dinner every evening in our accommodations, and we have the sausage report, and people can't go to bed or start partying until we've had the sausage report.
And are there any sausage extra points for good behaviour, or something that sausage thinks is above and beyond, just out there for the ralliers?
Well, I think that this year we are going to do extra points for the amount of money people are raising for their charities. Which I think is pretty cool. So there'll be a certain amount for up to £500, certain points for more. So that encourages our ralliers to get on board with this fundraising. I think Sergeant Sausage last year gave points for, shall we say, telling tales.
I love it. So just remind our listeners, how much money did you raise for charity last year? Because it was quite a considerable amount.
It was about, off the top of my head, it was about £56,000 collectively.
That is totally amazing. Yeah. And this year, what are the main charities? Obviously, everybody can have their own pet charity, but what are the main charities that you're asking people to raise for?
So as a collective for Cornwall Banger Rally, we raise money for Cornwall Hospice, Air Ambulance, RNLI, Children's Hospice, and they're our main ones that we raise for. And like you say, the rallies can raise for who they like. We actually have a collective Just Giving page that all of our rallies are linking to. So far, the amount of people that have supported, that means sponsored, one of their rallies, 170 people, have donated to one or other of the teams, which is absolutely fabulous. So we're already up to about £6,000 so far,
and we're not even
started,
hit the tarmac yet.
No. And people while they're raising money, they are posting on social media, and they've got their audience, and they're asking people, right, if you want us to do this, come on, let's put some more money into the charity pot, and then we'll do something even sillier. So
Oh, I absolutely love it. So as well as the cars being there, obviously Chaos is going to be there as well. I'm going to be wandering around in my full-length evening gown. Obviously, DJ Dazzle, has got...
Fabulous.
It has to be fabulous. But there's also... Are there going to be representatives of the charities there so that people can have a chat with them there as well?
Oh, absolutely. We've got the RNLI mascot coming.
Wow.
I know. Really pleased about that.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I definitely need a photograph of that.
Yes,
we just plan photo opportunities all the way through.
We've got Children's Hospice, Cornwall Hospice, are doing a tombola with alongside Pierhouse and Harbourside, and we're giving them some merch to go on their tombola. So you can get yourself some rally merchandise by playing the tombola at Harbourside.
Sounds excellent, and it's all really great stuff, and it goes to a fantastic cause. And finally, Officer Hooker, if people want to follow the rally or support a cause or get involved in the future, where's the best place for them to find out more information?
So if they go on Cornwall Banger Rally Challenge on Facebook, we can do that. I'm just putting up the link actually. Give me 1 minute and I will pull it up, Janice. But also I wanted to just mention we've also sponsors. Absolutely, I forgot this last time. So we have some local businesses that contribute to the prize money. So when you win first place, second place, third place, best dressed, best fancy dress, spirit of the rally, all of these awards are sponsored by local businesses, and the money that you win if you win one of these legs goes directly to your charity. So we've got Marice. So Marice are actually sponsoring Best Car, and they will be giving that award out on Saturday.
Oh, wow.
Which is fabulous. We've got Superhawk Marine. We've got Mortgage Works, Wreckers Deli in Mevagissey, Charlestown Harbour, Pierhouse, Clear Drainage Solutions, Abbott Commercials, Apple Tree, Banners and Beyond, and Utility Warehouse.
All fantastic organisations donating to this wonderful cause who's made thousands and thousands of pounds for charity. So Sarah, thank you so much for coming on there. Have you got your website page up?
The website is www.bangerrallychallenge.org, and please follow us on the socials. We are Vienna or Bust on Insta, TikTok and Facebook.
NEWSWAVE.
And finally this week, residents of Truro's Trelander estate have been left stunned and saddened following a major fire that tore through their local community centre on Monday evening. The blaze, which broke out at Trelander and St Clement's Community Hall shortly before 5:25 p.m, prompted a large-scale emergency response and has left the building with significant damage. The fire is believed to have started on the ground floor before spreading to the roof, with Cornwall Fire and Rescue Service responding with 6 fire appliances, an aerial ladder platform and a breathing apparatus support vehicle. Firefighters worked into the night to bring the flames under control, with warnings issued to residents in the surrounding area, urging them to keep their doors and windows closed.
NEWSWAVE.
My name is Lowick Rich. I'm the Cornwall councillor for Truro Tregols. I'm also a city councillor for this area as well. It's just very shocking and it's very sad and very worrying for the community. This is the centre of Trelander. It's where people meet. It's where people have their children's birthday parties. There's education classes. There's Keep Fit. There's a community cafe that's held once a month, which is really, really valued by people from all over Truro, actually. I mean, it's a really important part of the community, and I came up last night when the fire was, someone said it was on fire, so I came up and I had a look, and I saw firefighters on the building and some fire engines, and it didn't look good, to be honest. I just had a horrible feeling. It was quite serious. You could see the flames, and it's just really sad, really sad. There's been some issues with the centre in the last sort of year or so. Obviously we had Ronnie, Ronnie Tan, who passed away sadly. He was our chair for a long time, and it's been tough in the last sort of year or so, and this is really, it's devastating. It's going to devastate the community, and it's awful to look at.
The community centre and the community hub has been here for the community, but now the community is paying back. We've seen a number of people here today coming up to offer their support to be able to continue this fantastic work.
There's a lot of people that are going to be affected by this. So there are other community centres in Truro. There's Malpas Estate springs to mind. I know that has a lot of spare capacity at the moment. You know, I'm sure actually it is not going to be the end of the world. And nobody, you know, as far as I know, nobody's been hurt. So that's probably the most important thing.
So my name's Leslie Lawson-Kinross, and I've recently been appointed treasurer here about 4 weeks ago. One of the local residents phoned me around about 5:30 last evening to let me know that the hall was on fire and the brigade were here. Came up, and there was just an amazing effort by Truro and all the surrounding areas. There must have been about 5 or 6 appliances up here, and then the big units, and they spent more than 5 hours up here trying to get on top of the fire and the smoke. Seemed to be mainly in the roof of the building. I mean, we're now at a point where it's out, but there's significant water damage in the building.
Just to put it into context, we all know community halls and community centres are the beating heart of each of those communities in question. Can we talk about the history of the building and the services it provides as well daily to the people here?
There was such a community effort many, many years ago to raise the funds, and the local people here have put their heart and soul into getting the building up and running and keeping it going. The impact it has is so well used by children's groups, churches groups. There's so many activities. The community food larder, there's boxing, there's dance groups, there's yoga, there's just so much, and children's and family services as well that use the building. Everybody's going to be really impacted. It's going to be such a great loss.
I'm sure you've had little time to sleep, let alone time to think, but how do you hope the community comes together now in support of you, and what happens to the services while this building is unusable?
As a community, we really hope that everybody can get behind us. We'll do our best as the committee to support the current users, to help them find new locations. I've already been reaching out to colleagues that manage the Malabar Community Centre. They've already started to offer us some help with reusing their spaces if at all possible. We'll just do our best to keep everybody supported and do our best to support the groups that already use it, but also we'd like the community to reach out and help us and bear with us. It's going to be a while before we can bring the community and the hall back to its former glory, but we do want to get there, and we hope we do.
Just capture a second, just give me your thoughts as you're walking onto the field here today.
When they were building it, my mum always used to say, how's the shed coming on? I say, Mother, it's not a shed, it's a community hall. But she opened it, longest living resident on Trelander, and then Prince Andrew came and was with the opening, and I had to give him a basket of all Cornish products. And I had a laugh because he said, someone's been busy this morning. I said, no, it's been bought down the market. They used to play football on him when I was a kid, and there would be about 40 to the sides, and the girls wouldn't dare walk across the playfield because the boys used to play hang with you. But, there's good memories here and everything, but I just really hope it's re-established. I really do. Really do. It's a community, isn't it? A community centre. I don't know what they'll do now. I hope they rebuild it and do it. It's heartbreaking.
NEWSWAVE.
Okay, that's all we've got time for on this week's edition of NewsWave. A big Chaos Radio thank you to Laura Chesterfield, Director of Visitor Experience at the Lost Gardens of Heligan, to renowned Cornish artist Sue Hill, to Heidi, Marice and Nigel Storer, co-founders of the main gallery over in Truro, to Sarah Hart, part of the team behind this month's Cornwall Banger Rally Challenge, and to Councillor Loic Rich, Treasurer, sorry Joe, you have to do that bit again. Treasurer Leslie Lawson-Kinross and local resident Pam Mania for joining us outside Trelander Community Centre. And as ever, a final thank you to you for listening and helping support local journalism to thrive. To catch up on all our coverage, as well as to check out our extensive back catalogue of interviews and shows, head on over to chaos.radio. And remember, if you have a local news story that you'd like to share with us, do email news@chaos.radio or search Chaos Radio UK across socials. That's it, you're up to date here on Chaos. I'm Tom Howe. Whatever you're doing this week, be sure to keep it chaos.
NewsWave.
Chaos.radio. Music, podcasts, entertainment.